This is Ben, Liam and Bell on Nova.
G'day there, podcaster.
Welcome to My Dad's My Boyfriend.
Great title.
Bit creepy, isn't it? Don't read too much into it. It'll all make sense. It's not as weird as you think.
Well, true, yes.
I don't know.
It's still a bit weird.
Do you think it's a title that's deterred people from listening to this
No.
particular episode?
No, not at all.
No
Okay.
way. I just listened to a case file
Well-
about the same thing.
Okay, well that's... Yeah, I mean, we're not all freaks like you, Belle. Bell's always like, oh, should I tell you about my case file? No, I don't want to hear about a
Yeah.
kid getting murdered
Would
this
you like
morning,
to hear
please.
about the one I listened
No,
to?
I don't. No, it's horrible stuff.
This one was extra horrible.
I like podcasts that just I can have a bit of a chuckle, maybe like a bit of sport chat or whatever, or just music. Like I don't want to hear about people getting cut up into tiny pieces and put in a bin bag and thrown into a canal. you
Maybe
know?
we'd have more listeners if we did, though.
I can tell you about it if you want.
No, I don't think we need to
His
hear that.
eyes... Yeah, okay.
Just I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to. I'm sorry. Just enjoy the podcast that has all of those things that I mentioned. Ben and I went to the boxing last night at Margaret Court. A few good scraps. Former bomber Tom Bell Chambers absolutely fed the Cats Cam Mooney. Put him in his ass 3 times. I wouldn't want to be in the ring with that guy though. They were big men, that's for sure. First round knockout from Nikita Zoo, son of Costa, brother of Tim. There was some all-star fights, and Ben and I were very lucky, Bell. We got invited, and we were ringside, like not at the very front, but we were ringside, like we were on the floor near the ring.
Right, okay, you're on the floor seating.
And it was exciting for us, but it's always interesting when you rock up to an event like that and you see everyone else in media and that sort of stuff who was invited, and you really get some home truths. Like you really see where you sit in the celebrity pecking order. It's kind of like if you go to a wedding and you you see all the cool friends on a cool table, and then you're like with the duds on like the back table. You sort of get a bit of an idea. So we were thinking this morning, Belle, we could play a little game. I'll just diss out some names, and then you can say whether you think those people were sitting in front of Ben and myself or behind us.
Now, I think Belle will know a lot of these names. There might be some that she doesn't know, so I think she needs to have phone a friend.
Yep.
I think we get producer Andy, who's in the studio. Good morning, Andy.
Hello.
I think you can be Belle's phone a friend if she doesn't
Just
know.
if you don't know who the people are.
Right,
Yeah.
so, and front row being the most important people,
of
working
course.
back to whoever's seated at the back.
At the back. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay. So first up in a row, Tyson Fury, Bam Bam, Israel Adesanya, Tim Zook.
Well, I know the name Tyson Fury because you've been going on about him all week. Mm-hmm. And he's a boxer.
Yeah, he's like the world heavyweight champion. Yeah.
World heavyweight? I would
Yeah.
say front row.
Yep. Yeah, they were the front row.
Well, because he's probably been paid to be there, and
Yeah,
he's
well, I
like
think
an
they-
advocate for
they-
it, so it's front row.
And there's some of the biggest names in boxing and UFC and just combat sport in general.
Okay.
Pretty exciting, those people there.
Very exciting.
Okay, Belle. What about Andrew Gaze and Jason Dunstall from The Bounce and AFL star Tom Mitchell in front or behind?
Oh, going off Gazy. Well, if they're sport people, they'd be probably hoping that they're going to report on it. I'd say they're in front of you.
Yep, you'd be right in that. So they were 3 rows from the front of the ring, which sucked because Andrew Gaze is a very tall man. He was kind of like in my direct eye line. So
And he was a real stand-up.
He was yeah.
Really?
And he looked like a real sad dad when Cam Mooney got knocked out. I think
Did
they're
you say
friends.
hi to him?
No, I didn't say hi.
Oh.
No. Some heavy hitters here. Mick Malloy, Dave Thornton, Titus O'Reilly, Tommy Little, and Broden from Auntie Donna. In front or behind?
Hang on. Good one. Because I would say
Good
Mick
spread
Malloy
there.
would be in front of you, but no offense, probably Broden and Dave would be behind you.
Oh,
but if they're all in the same row, collectively in front of you.
Yeah, they were second row. So
Really?
they could give Tyson Fury a back rub if they wanted
That's
to.
such an odd group of
I must
people.
admit, I didn't know that. They were all yucking it up as well. They seemed like great mates. Okay, Belle. At the boxing last night, the entire Melbourne Storm squad, were they in front or behind Ben and I?
Surely behind.
No, you'd be wrong in that sense. They were in front. In fact, they were 1 row in front of us. So it's nice that we were close. We were close to the Storm. We were close. What about Limo, in front or behind?
I'm just gonna go with in front.
Yes. 2 rows in front. 2 whole rows. Okay, last one. The guys from Fat Pizza.
You're kidding.
In front or behind?
Surely not in front.
We were sitting next to them. So there you go. So, just so you know, Ben and I are on the same level as the dudes who had an SBS show in 2003. That's kind of that's our star power at the moment.
Was anyone behind you?
No.
We were in the back of the...
Back of the front. You know what I mean? It's kind of like we're not in business class, but we're on an emergency exit. So, it's a bit extra leg room. Still pretty cool.
If it's time for a winter trip, jump on What If, the place to go for quick Aussie getaways.
Probably somewhere in the snow for me. I'm a big snow guy.
For accommodation, flights, and more, book on the What If app.
What If it's Aussie for travel?
Netflix have started cracking down on users who share their passwords. I mean, who doesn't? And yesterday, you might have got this, they sent out an email saying that users have to fork out $7.99 for each extra person using their account, or they're going to get kicked off, Bill.
I got mine at 7 a.m. yesterday.
You were ripe about it as well, weren't you?
I was, but I think I was at the top of their list.
Yeah.
It does seem, though, like scare tactics. I don't think an email is going to be enough to stop people password sharing.
And unfortunately, a lot of people think that, Ben, and that's why Netflix, they're a big company. They've got a lot of money, and they've actually taken things to the next level in the last 24 hours.
Really?
Don't know if you've heard this, but they know that emails aren't enough to scare people. So they've actually employed debt collectors, and they've started going door to door.
Oh, hello.
G'day, mate. I'm from Netflix. Have you been sharing your password?
Nah, not that I remember.
Well, according to our data, you have 17 people listed on your Netflix account.
That's right.
Well, do they all live here? Mm-hmm. Well, this is clearly a one-bedroom apartment.
No, because we all, it's a big bedroom and there's like an ensuite. So, yeah, it's a share house.
I can see here that over the last week, your account has watched Queen Charlotte.
It's a good show.
Is it Cake?
It is quite often Cake.
Dated and Related.
Don't bring that one up.
Baby Ballroom, Tiny House Nation, Inside the World's Toughest Prisons.
They're pretty tough.
And Michael Bolton's big, sexy Valentine's Day special.
Yeah, it was Valentine's Day.
7 times.
I've watched the previous 6 Valentine's Days.
Mate, how do you explain all this?
Just a lot of Michael Bolton fans in the house.
Look, obviously you've been sharing your password, and you'll have to pay $7.99 for each extra account.
Oh, come on, man. I mean, surely you could let me off. Don't you think we could come to some sort of arrangement?
What kind of arrangement are we talking about?
I could look after you.
Oh, yeah, all right. Sounds pretty good.
Hang on, what do you think I'm talking?
What are you talking about?
I was just going to give you my binge password.
Oh, yeah. That sounds good. I could give you my Stan.
Oh yeah. I like Stan. Have you got that KO or?
I don't have KO, but I do have Disney Plus.
Oh, is that the one with Star
Marvel.
Wars? Yeah. Yeah.
Both great.
Anyway.
I'll email you?
Yes. I'll see you around. Yeah.
I'll see you around, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
It's 6:10. Hallelujah, it's 6:10.
Hey, Jess, how you doing?
Morning, I'm doing well. How you guys going?
Yeah, we're not bad. Have you got Netflix?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, right. What are you watching at the moment?
At the moment, it's a bit of Bridgerton. Just catching up with that.
Yep, I see. Well, bad news. Netflix are now cracking down on password sharing in Australia, with users getting an email yesterday. Seeing as it doesn't matter anymore, what's your Netflix password?
I'm not going to say.
Oh,
Fail.
Well, you've kept your cards close to your chest. We wouldn't want to confuse where you are on Bridgerton. Hey, Tom Hanks was seen getting angry at his helper on the red carpet at the Cannes Film Festival. What's Tom Hanks' character's occupation in the movie Sully?
Oh, no. I'm sorry, I can't answer that.
Oh, Jess. That's okay.
Sorry, Jess.
We'll have to move on to Sam. He's still in the draw for 10K day in May. Do you know what Tom Hanks is in Sully?
Sam, this is your moment. Sam.
Is it me?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
No, I could have
Are
been
you
one of those
Sam?
other Sams from Baronia that called through. Yeah, do you know Tom Hanks?
I know Tom Hanks.
But do you know who? The movie?
No,
yeah,
that's on
Sam,
Liam.
no.
Liam just asked, "Do you know
No,
Tom
no,
Hanks?"
no,
No,
you're not
that's
putting
on
that on me.
Liam.
Yeah,
No,
Sam,
Callum.
Sam should have been paying attention.
Callum joins us now. Tom
How are
Hanks in the movie Sully. What does he play?
Is he a secret agent?
No, sorry. Obviously not a very popular Hanks film.
It's about a plane.
Ben in Geelong. Sully.
Yeah,
Do you know? You seen that one?
Yep.
Um,
He's a pilot.
he is a pilot. Very well done.
13 24 10. There is a few free phone lines now.
The new Little Mermaid film is out in cinemas today. In the movie, what kind of animal is Sebastian?
Oh, is he an octopus?
Oh, he's not. Oh, no, it's a good guess, but he's not an octopus, unfortunately, or a pilot. Daniel, can you tell us what Sebastian is? Sebastian the...
He's a crab.
It is crab, yes. Okay, a boat went up in flames in Port Phillip Bay yesterday. Bit of a worry. The bow of the boat is at which end?
I would say the bow is the front.
Yeah,
Very
You'd
good.
be correct.
Double points if you can give us enough nautical knowledge to tell us what the back of the boat is referred to.
We don't have to.
It's all right. It was only extra credit. You don't have to
It's
answer it.
stern. It's stern for future reference. Hey, R.I.P. to Tina Turner. The pop icon has died at 83 this morning. Can you please finish these lyrics?
Simply the best.
Yeah! Stuff, Dan! Hey, to celebrate Tina,
Dying?
we're going to have... We'll celebrate her
Oh,
life,
okay.
Belle.
Yeah, to celebrate her. Yeah, okay.
Gee
I don't know,
whiz.
just-
Sorry. I'm sorry for...
Way to
Tina
bring the
Turner.
mood
Yeah,
down that
I-
was already kind of down,
Yeah,
Belle.
yeah.
Why was the mood already
it's
down?
not
Well, I know,
it's
the callers were all
not
kind of underwhelming
Yeah,
this
there was
morning.
the
Oh, just
Sully
'cause you hate
stuff,
everyone.
and, I don't know. Sorry about that, Daniel. I mean, you'd probably be put off by all of that, but I hope you still be listening tomorrow, yeah?
Absolutely.
Oh, good stuff, man. Well, look, to celebrate her life and all her achievements, we do have 2 Tina Turner songs up for grabs this morning. So would you like to hear this one?
Or Daniel, do you want to pop on your dancing shoes to Nutbush?
What do you want to hear this morning, Daniel?
Let's go number 1.
All right.
Oh.
I'm sure you'll hear the Nutbush at your next wedding.
Good morning, Melbourne. You are tuned into Nova with your mates Ben, Liam and Belle on this wet Thursday morning.
Imagine this. Your partner of 15 years leaves you for someone else just 6 months before you're set to be married. You'd screw with your head a little bit. Well, it's what happened to Stacey Clark over in the UK. And since then, she's gone and splashed $55,000 on what's being dubbed as a revenge body. There's a lot of articles about this. She got, the breast implants, the Brazilian butt lift, the hair transplant, liposuction, the gyneoplasty, eye, lip lift, the whole works, the whole damn thing. She actually joins us now. Stacey, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Hey, Stacey, so overall, you've gotten this amazing body done. You've spent $55,000. Is this all for you day to day, or have you done it because of him?
I did it for myself. I didn't do it for him, no. It was a long relationship that started when we were teenagers. I was 14 years old. I had my first son when I was 16, my second son at 18. So then when it ended, I just wanted to reinvent myself. I just completely went all out, did everything for myself, had fun. It was a completely new start to my life. Yeah.
You mentioned the kids there, Stace. How do they go with mummy looking so different these days?
So it doesn't bother them. They're so chilled. I mean, they're teenagers now, 15 and nearly 18. So yeah, it doesn't bother them at all. I don't think they've even noticed much.
It certainly doesn't look like you have a 15 and 18-year-old.
No.
I've seen, the photos online.
You look absolutely amazing, Stacey. And yeah, like Liam said, you look so young. Can you describe, what did you look like before?
How would I describe myself? A bit of a hippie. I had dreadlocks. I didn't wear makeup. I didn't go out. I didn't have my first drink until I was 30 years old.
Whoa.
So I just stayed in, looking after children. Yes, it's completely different.
Wow.
It's a completely new look.
How does it go? Sort of like, I mean, obviously, you can have haircuts and that sort of stuff. You don't always have dreadlocks, but was this a gradual thing, or did you look at yourself in the mirror one day and go, "Oh my God, like I look like a completely different person"? Because you've had like so many operations done here and there.
Do you know what? It was an instant change. I didn't know what to do. I mean, after 15 years, I think everybody would react differently after a 15-year relationship, but it was such a shock. We broke up in 2019. 1 month after he left me, my best friend also died. The only friend that I had, so I was a bit of a mess, really. I didn't really know what to do. I just decided to just disappear, and then I ended up having lots of surgery. I have no idea why, but there's no regrets. I absolutely love the results. I know they could go wrong, but I'm really lucky.
Wow, Stacey. Yeah, what a wild few years for you.
It's been
Has
crazy.
your ex, so what has he said and done about all this?
I haven't seen him since he left.
I'm sure he's seen you, though. Don't you worry about that. So, obviously, there's a lot of body-altering operations that you've had, some irreversible. But, if tomorrow I were to get, breast implants, a Brazilian butt lift, probably not a vagina, I wouldn't be able to do that one, a liposuction, eye lift, lip lift, what's the most, painful? What was the one that you were like, oh, actually, that was...
The most painful thing in the whole world is a hair transplant.
Yeah, right. So what do you mean by that? So you actually, because I've seen when there's balding men, they sort of go to Turkey and they get the implants.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have been balding, right? I mean, you had dreadlocks. That's like the thickest amount of hair you can have.
My forehead. My forehead was actually quite big. I mean, it was I don't know, 5, 6 fingers. So they just kind of shaved your hair at the back. Injected you, took the hair out, and put it to the front.
Oh.
So now I have a smaller forehead.
Oh, so it's like less forehead.
It's really cool. Yeah, it's really clever.
I didn't even know they could do that. Well, Stacey, thank you so much for joining us. Yes, it's been dubbed. You have the revenge body, and obviously, look, you had some couple of rough experiences in this very short amount of time there. But good on you for finding your happiness and doing you.
Thank you.
Wild story we just heard from Stacey over in the UK. We just chatted to her because she has gotten what has been dubbed the revenge body. If you didn't hear the chat, it's in the Ben Lehman Bell podcast today. She spent $55,000 on basically getting a brand new body, head to toe, everything you can think of, because her partner of 15 years dumped her and left her for another woman right before they were going to get married. So pretty sad, but she's basically just spent all her savings on redoing her body. Now, it's called the revenge body. I'm guessing, do we want to do 13, 24, 10? How'd you get revenge on the ex?
Well,
We've done it before.
I feel like we've done that more than once.
Yeah.
So that
also, no one's having a call saying, well, actually, I spent $65,000 on a revenge body. You're not topping her.
Rather than doing revenge on the ex, I wouldn't mind actually talking about something else that she said that blew me away. If you missed the chat, just have a listen to this little bit.
I didn't go out. I didn't have my first drink until I was 30 years old.
Whoa. So... She didn't have her first drink until she was 30 years old.
But she had her first kid at 16 and her second kid at 18.
Yeah, so she said she was living a life where she was basically just a stay-at-home mum.
But isn't that interesting? I mean, you're sort of, you think normally, when you're getting pregnant that young, there's partying and drinking involved and that sort of stuff, especially over in the UK. But hadn't had a drink until she was 30.
I was hoping we could do. You were how old when you tried what for the first time? 13, 24, 10. You were how old when you tried what for the first time? Maybe it was a conscious choice where you said, I'm not going to do that. And then you got to a certain age and you said, why haven't I done that yet? Maybe you just never had the chance to do it until you were a bit older in life. 13, 24, 10.
Not as wild as like never having a drink, but I got a friend who is 31 and she's never done a shot.
Yeah,
Like she's
yep.
just never done a shot. She's
Well,
like, no,
I'm going to get away from the drinking ones, but it is just one more drinking one. Sarah, my fiance, never had a beer. And I always try and be like, hey, just have a sip. Just have a sip. You know, you might like it. I think she's like scared of like the carbs in it or something.
Yeah,
she's like,
right.
no, yeah, it doesn't.
She's really never had a beer.
Yeah, no. She's a wine girl.
Look, they don't have to be alcohol related. In fact, I think I've had enough alcohol ones.
Hi, guys. Yeah, I've never had Zambuca before. Yeah, no, we don't. Yeah, not interested.
13, 24, 10 is our number. We'd love to know you were how old when you tried what for the first time. If you get on air and you share your story, we'll put you in the draw for 10K a day in May. Simple as that.
Franca in Rosanna, good morning. You were how old when you tried what for the first time?
Hi, I was 35 years old the first time I ever went to a gym.
Wow.
That's impressive. Yeah.
And how did you find it?
Oh, it was a bit scary, but yeah, I was a bit scared.
No, they are scary places. No, I get you. And look, I go, but I sort of just listen to music and walk around and don't do too much.
But now I love going, and I try and get there as much as I can.
Oh, so good for you.
Franca, did you have like a PT or someone who knew how to do all the machines to help you out?
Along the way, I've had a PT on and off, and I've done a lot of weight training, and I've I always strive to reach my personal best, and I actually did a personal best just on Tuesday night.
Oh, what are you benching?
Congratulations.
What are you benching, Franca?
I leg pressed 100 kilos.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go.
Lightweight, baby.
I wasn't expecting that.
Franca, do you want to go see Fast 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll send you along. We'll get you some tickets.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
No
and I love
worries.
listening to you guys. Thank
Oh,
you.
thanks, Franca.
Thanks, Franca. Appreciate that. I can hear you shaking your protein shake in the back there, getting ready for a big leg day.
Sarah in Heidelberg, good morning. You were how old when you tried what for the first time?
Hey guys, love your work. I was 27 when I tried 2-minute noodles for the first time.
No.
See, that's a staple, isn't
was
it?
obviously deprived as a child. My parents never gave it to me or had it in the house. Friends were like, what? Tried it. Blew my mind.
Or were you more cultured and you were having McGoring?
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'd like to say I was, but no.
Yeah.
Just didn't have it.
That's amazing, Sarah. So you've had it once. Have you on the noodle train now or not?
Sadly, no, I'm not. But it was pretty cool the first time.
Oh, yeah.
You should. I bet you haven't done this if you've only just had them soft. Do them hard.
Yeah.
I used to do that as a kid.
Yeah.
You just eat it like a brick.
They're actually, I honestly
It's a
think that they're way better dry.
It's a whole different flavour profile.
I don't know if it's an old wives' tale, but supposedly when you eat them dry, it clogs you up.
Yeah, because they're so absorbent to absorb the water that's what we got
Really?
told growing up. My mum would say, don't eat them dry because it will absorb all the fluid in your stomach.
I heard if you eat a block of cheese, you can't poo for a week. One time.
We should
That's
try
just
that.
you.
Oh, no, I've got no problems with that.
Shelley joins us now in Crib Point. Good morning, Shelley. Please let us know you were how old when you tried what for the first time?
49 crowd surfing.
Yeah, Sally.
Yeah.
So tell us, where did you let your hair down? Where did you crowd surf?
Good thing, Flemington at Tism.
Let's go. Tism.
And even topped it off, I even flashed my boobs.
Oh!
Yeah.
I'm on the drug. I'm on the drug. I'm on the drug. Get ready for Phoenix.
Well, Shelley, you
Bloody
sound like
okay.
you're going to fit right in the cinema watching Fast 10. We'll give you some tickets.
Oh, sweet as. Thanks, guys.
No worries, Shelley.
Hey,
It's so fun.
if you like the movie enough, get the girls out. Show Vin Diesel that you appreciate his body of work. Ben, you and I are from Adelaide originally. We've been living in Melbourne for the last 6 months. Yesterday, I went to Chadstone for the very first time. Life-changing. Have you been yet?
I've been many times, Liam. That is now my local shopping centre.
Yeah, right.
Traffic, like parking, horrendous if you go on the weekend. But if you go on a weekday, I love going because it's one of those things where you've got to see just how big it is. The fact they've got a Tesla inside the shopping centre is mind-blowing.
Yeah. Belle, obviously a Melbourne local. You've been many a time.
It was like, I know that you guys would have had everybody does. You have a hangout spot growing up as a teenager after school. Chatty was mine. My best friend and I would get the 903 bus and go to Chatty, and then we just hang out outside Hoyt's.
There's a lot of stinky teenagers kicking around Chadstone.
Yeah, a few
you just
plaza
walk
rats.
around and
Oh, I mean, it's insane. Like, honestly, like, just take yourself back to the first time you saw this place. Just imagine it, seeing it through the eyes of someone who like didn't quite understand. I'm like, this looks like Singapore Airport. I feel like they should have golf buggies to drive people around. I don't know. I mean, you got to have a map on your phone or something. They've actually got a hotel there now, in case you get lost and you need to stay the night.
Is there actually a hotel?
There's a hotel.
there's a hotel. It was only built in the last few years.
Is the hotel? I believe that might actually be near the escape rooms. They've got escape rooms.
Yeah, well, I believe the whole shopping centre is an escape room. Yeah. I found it very hard to find my car at the end.
It's the biggest shopping centre in the Southern Hemisphere.
It checks out. Oh, they got an oyster bar. An oyster bar! Who has time for oysters after Coles? But there's like, I like how it's like, it doesn't really, it's not like it's a necessarily high end or low end. It's sort of for everyone. Doesn't matter how much money you've got to spend. There's something for everyone at Chadstone.
There is the high end.
Yeah, there is, and then but even like in the food court, right? Like there's obviously like oyster bars and like expensive stuff, and like you could actually probably go out for a nice date, like to just Chadstone shops. But then they've also got like those cheap ones, like those noodle bars with fake plastic meals in the cabinet in the front.
Yeah,
never understood those. Like who is that appealing to? Like, a plastic egg. Yum. I'm going to head in there.
It's if you're a visual learner.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Tesla. There's a Betty's Burgers. Below that, Tesla. Below that, JB Hi-Fi. There's no rhyme or reason to, like, you can drop 60 grand on an electric car, pre-order Fast and Furious 10 on Blu-ray, and get a side of fries within the same 5 minutes.
That's Chatty for you.
Capitalism, baby.
Oh, yeah.
And Chatty is the fashion capital.
Well, there is that whole bit. There was stores like it's something that you'd only see, like you'd think on the high street in like Beverly Hills or something. There's that whole section where the vibe just changes.
Oh yeah, and
there's
I feel the sun always shines brighter on that end of Chadstone. It's like they got more glass roof on that end. But if you go down the other, the dodgy end, it's like it's darker and it's just
the poor side of Chadstone.
Yeah. Belle's never been down there.
No, that's where I used to hang.
She's heard it's quite dark down there.
I've heard there's less sun. Anyway, that's what people tell me. But there's those stores, when it starts getting higher end because there's all the bouncers. Like it feels like it's like nightclubs, and there's velvet ropes, and then people are like literally. But it doesn't make sense because it's like people are literally lining up for Louis Vuitton. And you can smell Red Rooster from downstairs. I'm like, what are you appealing to? What are they going for?
I want to talk about Sylvester Stallone.
When I'm done with this drink, I'm going to be done with you.
Oh, Sly. The reason I want to talk about Sly is supposedly he writes the breakup text messages that his daughters send to their boyfriends.
Oh, wow.
Why?
Rest in pieces.
Yeah, signs off with that.
So
You're a Kentucky Fried Idiot.
His daughters, Sophia, who's 26, and Sistine, who's 24, they spoke about it on the Giggly Squad podcast. That sounds good.
Probably rates higher than ours anyway.
So they have come on that podcast and said that whenever they don't want to do it themselves, they'll get their dad, Sly, to write and send the text messages.
They are gorgeous as well. I don't know if you've seen Sylvester Stallone's daughters. But
but it also makes sense. If he's your dad, why not?
They look very fake. The whole image of their family on that reality show at the moment, it's all very fake.
Oh, really?
I mean, look at Sly. He can't move his face at all.
What's the matter with you? Feel like a Kentucky Fried Idiot.
Then again, if you were getting dumped, but it was like Rocky level of inspiration, is like, listen, it's not going to work out. But nothing hits as hard as life. And it ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. You'd be like, I don't even care. Even if this person's the love of my life, I can take the punches and go again.
Apparently, whenever they bring a guy home, he's always standoffish when he meets them. They added that he stands in the corner and he doesn't say anything. He just stares at them to intimidate them. And apparently he always has a cigar upon meeting new boyfriends to set the tone.
But totally fair. And you wouldn't expect anything less, though. If if one of you boys got brought home by one of the daughters.
Not going to happen.
You knew that Sylvester was going to be there. You wouldn't expect anything less than him standing in the corner.
I think
with a
you'd
cigar.
like me. I've seen all the Rocky. I got it on box set. I could be like, I loved 4 when you were training in the barn.
Break every beautiful bone in your body.
I find it crazy though that these women who are in their mid-20s are still getting their dad to break up with their boyfriends. I would love to know this morning, 13 24 10, what did you get your dad to do for you? Because, I guess we all still sometimes need our dads to do things for us. If you've got a story you want to share, give us a buzz, 13 24 10. If you get on air to share your story, we'll put you in the draw for 10K a day in May.
I mean, breakups are hilarious. I'd love if, you couldn't come into work one day and you got your dad to call in sick for you or something, but you're like an adult. 13 24 10.
Olivia in Geelong, good morning. What do you get your dad to do for you?
Good morning. Hi. When I'm walking down the street and I walk into a shop, I get too scared to order. So I get my dad to order for me.
Yeah. How old are you, Olivia?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 15.
You're 15,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And you're probably never going to grow out of that phase.
Yeah, and I get it. It's annoying as well. We have dads here too. Like sometimes, even if you just give your dad an instruction, normally they do it wrong. Like if you're at a drive-through or something and you're asking for it's a McFlurry, and they're like, McFlung, the cream. Can I have the cream, please?
You know what I miss? The days as a kid where if you're out for dinner or something and the waiter comes over to take your order and then you don't have to say your own, you just go, yeah, Mum, can you tell them to
You like slide it over. Yeah.
Julie in Lilydale, good morning. What do you still get your dad to do for you?
Well, my dad was 20 when he had me. So when I was 18, my dad, my stepmom and I went to a nightclub. And this guy kept hitting on me and following me. So I couldn't get rid of him. So I pointed to my dad and I said, well, that's my boyfriend over there. And he's like, oh, your boyfriend? And I said, yeah. So I went over to my dad and I said, if this guy comes over, you're my boyfriend. And he's like, what? So the guy comes over and he's like, oh, she's lovely, isn't she? My dad's looking and going, yeah, she is actually.
You probably could have said it was your dad. It still would have worked. You know what I mean? I think he still would have backed off a bit. Quick, Dad, kiss me like you're my boyfriend.
Elizabeth in Preston, good morning. What do you still get your dad to do for you?
My nonno actually is known as the Intimidator. And he would just scare off all my mum and auntie's boyfriends or boyfriends and get the shotgun out with his cigar and say, hey, mate, how's it going?
Yeah, with
That's
the sawn
insane.
off. Yeah,
That's insane.
I wonder why he was so intimidating. Was it, his stance, or was it the shotgun in their faces when they were 16, coming to the door trying to take your auntie out to the movies?
Wild story, Elizabeth. It's time for the Fast Five.
Dan, Liam and Bells. Fast Five. Thanks to What If is Aussie for Travel.
Tegan in Essendon, can you say, I want cash?
I want cash.
Yeah, I believe you, Tegan, and I believe in you as well. 30 seconds on the clock. We only got 5 questions here. Just pass them if you don't know them, and if you get them all right, you win.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
What's the name of the 90s film where Mel Gibson plays a Scottish warrior? William Wallace.
Pass.
What is the title given to the wife of the US president?
First lady.
Nova is currently playing a Luke Combs cover of what Tracy Chapman hit?
Fast car.
Australia's tallest building, the Q1, is in which city?
Melbourne.
Q1, Gold Coast. They got that stupid building with the rod on it, and then they try and claim that it's bigger than all Melbourne's buildings. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And it's Braveheart, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
I knew you knew it. Freedom!
Oh, nice try anyway, Tegan.
No, stay by your phone because Ricky, Lee, Tim and Joel could be calling you at 5 p.m, letting you know that you've won $10,000. Also, we'll send you along to Lightscape. It returns to the Royal Botanic Gardens, completely reimagined. Tickets at lightscapemelbourne.com.au.
Our next guest has just spent 67 days solo in the Tassie bush. She's fought for her survival and kept sane. And now she's taken out the crown as the winner of Alone Australia. Please welcome Gina Chick.
Gina, good morning and congratulations. This is insane.
Thank you.
So, Gina, 67 days in the Tassie wilderness, as we just heard. What was your outback, per se, experience before the show?
So I've been out bush my whole life. You know, my parents used to, chuck us in the car and take us around Australia every 6 weeks or so. Every 3 years or so for 6 weeks. We always went camping. I've been barefoot in the bush making fires as long as I can remember.
Yeah, right. Wow. It seemed like on the show you genuinely enjoyed it, which is such a big part of it. It seemed like you were thriving in the whole experience. You were very positive throughout it, which I think is probably the key. Is that right?
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed myself. If you've watched the show, you'll see that from the first minute I get there, I played. That was probably one of the ways that I stayed sane, although I think my sanity is probably questionable. But anyway, we'll say sane for now, is that I didn't waste calories worrying about anything, and I used those calories to enjoy myself and find things to play with, and there was always something to play with.
Well, Gina, I know Ben, he always talks about living off grid, and that's I think he's pretty keen to finish up this show and go and never see us again, or anyone else at some point. But
the dream.
Obviously, some people, sometimes you're caught up in this crazy world, work, social media, all this stuff, and very few people get to strip back and, live pretty much like cavemen times. Would you trade it? Honestly, like, you've done it for 67 days, like, you've sort of experienced that life. Would you give it all up if you had people around you who you loved and lived that sort of life and just live off the land?
Oh, if I had people around me that I loved in a village, I would say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really enjoy walking between worlds. So when it's time to be in the bush, I will absolutely sleep in the dirt next to a fire, not have a shower for a while, chat with the wombats, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But then when it's time to come to the city and go see a movie and eat a degustation meal and try and get into that restaurant barefoot and sometimes get kicked out, so I got to keep a pair of thongs in my bag, and just to enjoy the joys of being in a city, then I'll do that. But I can't do it for very long.
Okay.
If I had a village, though, to live in, I would be pretty happy out in the bush full time.
Well, speaking of nice food, what was the first thing you ate when you left the bush?
When I got out after a very long day of filming, after they, brought in Lee to tell me that I'd won, which was a hilarious moment. Basically, because I'd been in a semi-starvation situation for quite a long time, there's a very strict refeeding program that we all have to go through. So it's not like dreaming, going, "Oh my God, fillet steak! I can't wait for eggs Benny on a croissant." God, give me the soy latte. And then you get back in and go, I'm going to eat all the things. And they're like, and here is this TV dinner. And it's nutritionally balanced. However, somewhere in somebody's phone is footage of me sitting on the steps of the little demountable officey thing that I refused to go into when I got taken out.
Yep.
And they've given me this TV lasagna thing that's nutritionally balanced. And honestly, as I keep saying, eating it was like when Harry met Sally, if Sally was raised by wolves.
Yeah. I wish we had the audio of that this morning.
At the moment on Nova, we are joined by Gina, who is the winner of Alone Australia. Spent 67 days in the Tasmanian wilderness. I'm curious, what's the thing you missed the most during that time? Surely it was toilet paper.
Oh, for you to miss toilet paper, you'd need to be having a few craps. And I think it was probably about at the 28-day mark. It might have even been at the 32-day mark that I had my first proper poo.
Oh, right, okay.
You sound like Bill.
I understand.
Okay, so sister, you're feeling me. Yeah. And so that feeling that you get when you're a little bit backed up for a couple of days and then you finally have that poo and then you run around. When a dog or your cat has a poo in the morning and then they run around just climbing the walls with a stupid grin on their faces. That's what it was like like for me, I think the med check, mob came in at some point and I was like, oh my God, I did a poo. Like that was the most amazing thing. So no, I didn't really miss toilet paper.
And if we're going on the SBS players, sort of, what episode should we be looking out for that one, Gina?
Oh, that one didn't make it in. I'm afraid.
No, okay.
That's you're the first ones to hear that story, so you've got an exclusive.
Thanks, Gina.
Look, Gina, you've been a pleasure to have on this morning. We really do appreciate you coming on and having a chat with us. All episodes of Alone Australia are now streaming on SBS On Demand, and you can watch Alone Australia, the reunion at 7:30 p.m. on SBS tonight. Gina, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.